And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this surprise live stream. Thank you for coming here. You could be watching from anywhere around the country or the world, and I appreciate it. Also, I am going to be playing the game for a little while and just hang out for a little bit. Okay. Here we go. I'll be switching over so everybody can see me. Okay, now people can see me. Alright. Hello, everybody. It's me, Alien. And I'm going to be playing the game now and just chatting about stuff. Alright. Later on, I'll be doing a live from my garden. Alright. So, basically, here we go. We're going to go here. Okay. Now the game is launching. So I hope everybody's been having a good weekend. I was going to be a little bit sooner. Yeah, I was going to be a little bit sooner. I was contemplating about which type of live to do for a moment, but yes, I'll do the garden one later, or maybe in a little bit. All right. Oh, hello, Rebecca. Good to see you. But as I said, I want to do the, and also I was doing some things with the cats, and shout out to Moki. I don't know if she'll be able to make it, but she requested this. All right, let's go to the game. She requested it, and it took me a moment to get here to get it, not to get it ready, but to see what we were going to be doing, and here we are. All right. Any kind of issues or something happens, I'm just going to switch to the phone live. Okay. All right. So, all right, this is the haunted island that I was talking about before. Thank you, Zero, for the email. I saw the notification. Thank you. And welcome, Zero. Glad that you could make it. Yeah, this is the haunted island that was talking about. It looks like they have a Mother's Day theme for the. They have a Mother's Day tattoo for the pirate people. That's interesting. All right. Yeah, this is just the haunted island. Scared. That it causes a lot of problems to there's a lot of ghosts and stuff there. Okay. All right. So basically, we have it's the information you requested. Yes, Zero. Thank you. It's that scale I was requesting about. Yes. Oh, hello, Duke. Later on, I'm going to do a garden live, and I was like going to do that instead of this, but I was, maybe there are some other things to do here, so I'll do the phone live later. All right, so this is the haunted island. It's a little bit easier to see it during the day. And shout out to you, Duke, and people that are chilling with me. All right, so earlier I was doing stuff with the cats and hanging out with them, and Moki requested to go live, and I was going to get it together. And as I said, I'm thinking about which type to do because I could do the phone live, but maybe on the computer we could look up some stuff, and I'll do the phone live, the garden live another time on a Friday. One of these days, I will do a live from the garden again, which I'm going to do that probably in a little bit. But basically, for now, we are. It's a low volume. Okay, I don't know. Just maybe I'm not talking loud enough. That's why. I'm just talking low. Hello, Steve Kerfuffle. Good to see you. Welcome. A little bit later, I'm going to do one of the garden lives, and also on a Friday, that's something I need to go do. Yeah. A shout out to Moki. As I said, I don't know if she'll be able to come. She was tired, but we'll see how it goes. And if there's any kind of issue with this stream, we're gonna do the phone live. Gladly. All right. All right. So here we go. Pumping water out. Yeah. All hail Moki. Yes. All right. As I said, we will be doing also a live from the garden as well. And just keep in mind to go over to that side when we get there. Yeah, Moki, come hither. Yes. Hello there. Oh, your dog got into it with some coyotes? Scared. Scared. Hello, Virginia Possum. Well, I'm glad you were able to tell us hello. Welcome. I'll be doing a garden live a little bit later, and I was not sure because I remember when Moki wrote me and I was already leaving. I was thinking about doing the live from the garden, and I was really conflicted, but I made the decision do it from the computer because I'm thinking maybe we could talk about some theories and stuff. Now next Saturday, I will be doing a Saturday live, probably a little bit earlier, or maybe not earlier, around a little bit earlier than this. How about that? A little bit earlier than this. And then we have Steve saying, my dog got into it with a coyote. Oh, that is scary. That's scary. I hope your dog's okay. Your dog sounds like a good fighter, though, to be able to stand up to those mean coyotes. And as I said, we will be seeing more trial updates as the days go on. And today, what I was reviewing... Today, I was reviewing the treasure from different parts of the world, and I was reviewing them from the Caribbean. Like, we played Pirates of the Caribbean. So, I was curious about the different types of treasures that have been lost. That's something that I've been researching. So, there's a ship that sunk, and it has $17 billion that went down with it. But it's actually... Of course, it's another type of... It's another thing. It's silver and gold and gems. George is here. She had to... I played it yesterday and stayed the night with my brother and his dogs. Ruff, ruff. Oh, that's nice. Shout out to George. Hey, Moki. I'm glad you're able to make it. I was thinking about if there's any problem, let me know, and we're going to go into the garden and do the live there. Shout out to Moki for requesting this. And yeah, I got your message, Moki, and I was getting everything set up, and I'm thinking about maybe doing the garden instead and showing you all the garden. Because I would be right there walking out where I was with the cats and just showing you all the garden. And I was really thinking about it, but I needed to make a decision because of the time. And as I said, I decided to do this type of live that we usually do. Maybe if you wanted me to look up something or we could talk about some sort of a topic, I didn't mind doing it through the computer. But of course, you wouldn't mind either way what I would do. I was just thinking we could do something from the computer if there was something to look up. But I do want to show you my garden. Yeah, you want to see the garden. Yeah, I was thinking you want to see it. All right. Okay. Yeah, and I'll show you the garden, and It has all the different plants that are growing right now. Yeah, I was thinking you'd like it. All right. Yeah, so basically, and what I will do is, since Moki is here. Oh, hello, Stranded. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I figured you want to see the garden. I figured. Now, I gave this option with the computer live just in case anything we need to look up. Oh, Moki, I did not look at the links just yet because I was researching some other topic. There's something else that I was looking into with the aliens, but your link is the most important thing, though. Of course, it was just a very long documentary, but your thing it would not take as long. I don't think to look at. But yeah, so basically with the links, no, I'm gonna look at them, Moki. I was watching about the quartz. So there's this alien information about the orbs, more about what they are, and with the orbs, they are the quartz diamond, the not the diamond, the quartz crystal is the thing that's maybe running those orbs, and that there might be an invisible UFO that's running it, and the orb is the engine of it allegedly. But yeah, Smokey, I will look at your links, of course. And see, there's this user I was watching from Smoke and Scan the other night, and he was talking about he took a very close image of this alien encounter he had where he saw the orb up close. It was orange, and people all over Texas were seeing it. And he believes it has to do why they grounded all the flights back then. And there's a conspiracy theory that they faked the China balloon because it was actually an alien invasion, an alien sightings that were going on. And that it took about it was about an hour to look at. Scared. Right, and also Moki, as I said, your links are more important. More important. And yeah, and Moki says there's like 15 links to supposedly classified documents dumps from a whistleblower who might be in jail now, but yeah. All right. All right. All right, now let's look at these. I'm going to go pull up these links. And Moki, next Saturday I'll do a live stream, all right? I'll do a live stream a little bit earlier than this for you. And Moki, I hope you had a fun day in the pool. Oh, there's a Columbia orb that was just found. Okay. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at some of these links that she sent me, and then we're going to go into the garden, okay? I'll end this live and go into the garden before Moki goes to rest. And thank you, Stranded and Virginia, for the kind thoughts. All right. All right, so let's look at these links. Maybe not all of the links because of the time for Moki to get the rest, the beauty sleep. But we will... I'll go into the garden before she goes to bed to show her. Bookmarks. I am sunburned and been drinking a little bit. Scared. I know it's like a lady that's by the pool that's drinking once you look at some links, but I go look at a video a dude made that before an hour about the orb that he saw. So I'm a very interesting character. All right, let's go down here. There we go. All right, so let's switch over this other window. Now, as I said, we're going to look at one of these, and then we're going to go into the garden. You know, a beautiful lady at the by the pool wants you to look at some links, but I go look at and it's bro tells me about a link about his alien encounter. I'm like, oh who, oh who. You'll see when you open it, there are links to certain topics, so you can decide which one they're interested in. Yeah, Steve, that's synchronicity. Mike Myers and Jordan. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Scared. All right. Every syllable. Okay. So the JFK. Okay, y'all decide. The JFK assassination, anti gravity repulsion technology, and charged dark matter, deep space propulsion. The 8 star systems and civilizations we made contact with. The truth behind the 1969 moon landing and the fake footage. The upcoming cataclysm ending of September 2027. Never ending energy of the ultimate power. The cure for cancer and everything else. The truth about God and the truth about Jesus. The creation of the Homo sapien. Creation of Earth itself. The written alien alphabet belonging to the species that crashed at Roswell. He was AK Friendship Alien Lacion Work in Program. Photograph and details of the 9'11" in humanoid extraterrestrial. United States sending 12 soldiers to live in another planet, aka Project Crystal Knight. Ah, yeah. Entity of civilization list. Creation of formation, evolution of Majestic 12 group. What actually happened to the Timu mustache individual following World War II. Actual true story of Cain and Abel. Origins of the Mayan civilization. Description and detail of the 3 reptilian species of extraterrestrials here. Public accumulation program ran by Steve Spielberg. Scared. All right, so if people don't come up with something, I'll choose. Are y'all interested in seeing one of these things we'll talk about right now? And then after this one thing, we'll go into the garden to show Moki. And if Moki goes to sleep for some reason, we'll do another live tomorrow to show her the garden. It is right up my alley. It's right up my Timu alley. All right. Okay. So now the wise alien will choose because there isn't word from the audience. All right. So assassination. Hello, Alan. Bro is still deciding. Scared. This is why I did it from the computer instead of the garden first, because we could do something from the computer. Oh, you're good for another hour. Oh, okay, good. And eventually, Mary Toodles will come back in, and she said she wants to watch TV when she gets in, and she wants to relax. So as I said, we're going to be put into the garden, perhaps. Scared. Alan, you want to talk about anti-gravity repulsion technology? Or the first 8 star systems and civilization made contact with? The truth behind the 1969 moon landing? The upcoming cataclysm ending of September 2027? Yes, Moki, that's true. That's true. Scared. Scared. Never ending energy of the ultimate power. The cure for cancer and everything else. the truth about God and the truth about Jesus, the creation of Homo sapiens, the creation of Earth itself, the written alien alphabet belonging to the species that crashed at Roswell, the photograph details of 9'11" humanoid extraterrestrial, United States sending 12 soldiers to live on another planet, aka Project Crystal Knight. And as I said, if Alan can't make a decision, I'll make one. Clone biological entity civilization list, creation, formation, and evolution of the Majestic 12 group, what actually happened to the Austrian Timu mustache individual following World War II, actual truth of Cain and Abel, the origins of Mayan civilization, descriptions and details of the 3 reptilian species of extraterrestrials. We already covered Serpo. Alright, never-ending energy. Okay. Thanks, Stranded. Alright, so we're going to talk about... I guess we'll talk about 2 quickly. So, Stranded kind of like said it. So, let's see. Alright. Moki says no. Okay. Alright, so we'll talk about the moon landing first, and then we will do the other thing. Alright, so co-pilot Stranded looks like got overruled by Moki, but Stranded, we're going to go to that in a moment, okay? We'll go to that in a moment. So we'll get to what you said in a moment, Stranded. Alright, so let's go. Here is the real account of the July 16th, 1969 mission to the moon according to the classified files. The footage was faked, but we did go to the moon. The footage was faked, but we did go to the moon in 1969. Here's what really happened. On June 20th, almost a full month before Neil Armstrong and company took off from Pine Gap Joint Operations Base in Australia, touching down on June 24th, I should say June 24th. This was done so that in the event of the mission was complete, disaster the U.S. would avoid having to happen on a national television. There was real pictures and film taken from this mission to be used when they got back to play as live footage for the world. The plan was for astronauts to be sent back to Earth's orbit before they were due back so they could do the splashdown return for the whole world to see. However, when the astronauts secretly returned to Earth on June 30, it was determined that the video and photographic footage was ruined due to it not being properly protected. Oh, he's MIA. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Steve said, I'm lucky Bina isn't here. Scared. And Regina, great to see you. Our June 30 was determined that the video and photographic footage was ruined due to it not being properly protected while traveling back through the Von Allen radiation belt. The only thing they had left was the original radio communication with mission control. Moki says, don't forget to hit the like button for our friend. Thank you, Moki. The like button needs help. In order to avoid international embarrassment, to prove the world that the U.S. still went to the moon, They recreated the footage and used the actual radio communications that NASA had recorded. It was that all three astronauts were sent back into space on July 16th to be sent back into orbit to await the splashdown for the cameras. It wasn't until they came back the second time that they were informed that they were not allowed to discuss any of the real details about what they encountered on the trip to the moon. Forced to sign NDA's minutes before their press conference, where violating it was punishable by up to 10 years in prison and $1 million fine. It's probably more than $1 million. Let's make sure. Wait. Like $1 billion in fines. Or 100 million. It might be 100 million. Oh, tomorrow's Leon's birthday. Well, happy early birthday to Leon. Shout out to him. All other missions to the moon countermeasures were in place to protect against damage footage from the Von Hollen radiation belt. That's why the rest of the mission footage took differently than the recreated footage. Only one video clip I have ever ran across has ever told the true story. So I am attaching it to this release. The photos that you see from the moon were not taken during the Apollo 11. They were taken later, but most were observed in 1969. And also for legal reasons, all this is alleged in an opinion. Legal reasons, I say that. Okay. Like a legal disclaimer. Only one clip I have ever ran across has ever been told the true story, so I'm attaching it to the release. The photos that you see from the moon were not taken during Apollo 11. They were taken later. Most were observed by them in 1969, so this was why 1969 moon landing was faked, and it wasn't because it didn't happen. Here's the only video footage they got right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see if what chat can see. Okay, y'all can see that. Also, this is all fair use. Fair use, everybody. Here we go. All right, so we see the rocket going into space. To avoid potential failure to the world's stage, July 16th, 1969. June 20th, 1969. One thing I'll say is fair use. All fair use. Okay. Nearly none of before the Michael collision and Buzz adoration allegedly landed on the moon on April, launched from the top secret Pine Gap Joint Defense Space released the located near the Alice Space Australia, which basically what I said before. All right. Looking at it for the footage, not really to read it, but just for the footage. Okay. All right, so you see here the Apollo 12 footage, the Apollo 12 footage. See the two different things. Oh, you see these alien things right here? I think that's incredible. There's certainly something on the moon. I remember when there's a recording of sounds coming from the dark side of the moon. And that is, so there is some sort of alien activity on the moon, or some sort of dimension or something like that. So we thought maybe there is something like hell on the moon, but no, there is some sort of alien. Ooh, that's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like. So that was basically some recording that I saw like 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. And so there is something on the moon. So this is very interesting. I think that this is a very informative video. We could see right here, NASA photo leaked by Ken Johnston, ex-NASA employees. And then about ABL Mother's Day. And every rocket goes into space never goes straight up. They always curve because they can't go past the infirmament. They go in low Earth orbit. Yeah, he needs a hug. Yeah, there you go. All right, so here we go. All right. Let's see anything else. Okay, we have that there as some footage. That's them being lifted up on the helicopter. Let's see. All right, so that is it for that one. So that is about the moon landing. All right, now we're going to talk about this energy impulse. Mogi said, and that's just one of the links, but the dude who is in the whistleblower is in jail, so I don't know what to think. Scared. Hello, Aaron. Great to see you. Stranded said ABL needs a lot of things, and a hug ain't one of them. Scared. Moki said, and that's just one of those links, but the dude who is in the whistleblower is in jail, so I don't know what to think. Hello, Aaron. It's great to see you. Later, we're going to go into the garden, but right now we're looking at some conspiracy theories. I was going to do the garden one instead, but what I decided to do was... What I decided to do was basically do the computer just in case Moki wants to show something. Alright, so here we go. Oh yeah, Katy Perry and her expertise. Absolutely. Yeah, Katy Perry is an expert astronaut. One thing she does, her music's pretty cool. I'm not against her music. But basically, yeah, with the astronaut, you know, she's an expert. She's been to space, and she knows a lot of information about it. So we really should have her expertise about this. I mean, she knows more than Armstrong and all those other people. She's a Timu expert, not just a regular expert. So yeah, I think we should have her expertise. That's hilarious, Aaron. And yes, Steve, I do go with what is with the heart. That's true. And thank you. That is something I should do. Absolutely. Yeah, she's been getting some bashing lately. Just beer. I drink Miller because they are supposed to be light. She's an Astro Snot from Timu. All right. Okay, so here we go. I will now release the practical volume enhanced energy device. And as I said, all of this is alleged allegations, and they're just an opinion for legal reasons. All right, we're saying that. Okay, so I will now release particle volume enhanced energy device technology from the classified files. These devices are categorized as PVEEDs. They are the most advanced from 0-point energy device ever created. It works like this. Hilarious, Regina. Hilarious. The first device like this that was recovered was in 1947. And part of the first Roswell crash site in southwest of Corona, New Mexico. We did not know what this device was. The survivor of EBE-1 was a mechanic on board the craft, deleted before explaining the crash on June 1952. Change the title of this real quick. All right. Okay. Surprise. All right, here we go. Hilarious. I'm convinced Oprah drinks the blood of babies. That could be true. That could be true. Scared. All right. So the first device like this we recovered was in 1947, part of the first Roswell crash site southwest of the Corona, New Mexico. We did not know what this device was. The survivor of EBE 1 was a mechanic on board the craft, died before the explaining his piece on the crash on site on June 18th of 1952. It looks like plexiglass almost, and one specific device was about the size of the decent sized book, a little less than a foot long from top of the bottom. Top of the bottom of 10. Okay, here's again. It looked like a plexiglass almost, and this one specific device was about the size of a decent sized book, a little less than a foot long from the top bottom and 8 to 10 wide, and about 1 1/4 to the thick. Yes, Smokey, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. On from top to bottom, and 8 to 10 in width, and about 1 1/4 to 2 inches thick on each side. That was determined. It was determined to be bottom of the device, were small square metal plates. Each metal plate is a conductor connecting a model. These are where you attach the electrical devices to receive your electricity. The amount of electricity distributed from these devices depends on the demand of the electric device that is put on it. This device can power anything from a cell phone to an entire city. It will never overheat or run out of energy. You can hook up an entire electrical grid, this device, and it will power all. Then larger devices will be able to power an entire regions and countries. Similar to Tesla's idea, Nikola Tesla, where he wanted to create, like, Wi-Fi originally was supposed to be for electricity. It was supposed to be wireless electricity. So, but they want to make capital off everything. So this sounds very similar to what we were talking about yesterday. This specific device turned out to be a power source of everything electrical within the craft itself, including what would start the engine and create elements reactions. The nuclear element that's heavier than plutonium, yet still nuclear in nature, that powers the engine itself to create the artificial electrical magnetic field, which then gives you anti-gravity repulsion technology. Without this power source, the craft and the engine will not even turn on. All right, Moki, understood. Without this power source, the craft and the engine will not even turn on. Inside this device, you will find little metal wires that are extremely small when it's not being used, but expand larger and larger the higher the demand that is put on this. You will also find little globes of charged dark matter, aka antimatter. You will only see this under electrical microscope. When you plug something into the device, the charged dark matter globes begin to spin clockwise. Then a liquid from what Bob Lazar told you Element 115. The element 115 currently on the periodic table surrounding each globe. When the globe starts to spin, the liquid element 115 goes from translucent in appearance to an off pink color. The liquid element 115 then heats up to over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The, the charged dark matter globes do not heat up the remain at room temperature. Scared. The little metal wires that are all around the edges of this device begin to expand and then interact with the charged dark matter. Globes that are spinning, this is because these wires are now receiving the energy from O point energy field and expanding with more energy they receive. As this is happening, the charged dark matter globes begin to bounce neutrons rapidly back and forth. The expanding wires, they continue to spin. Silver Fox says, I remember a 5th grade student who always corrected the teacher in math. She used to get angry. Scared. Neutrons rapidly back and forth, expanding wires. They continue to spin, and this process then enhances the amount of energy pulled from the vacuum, which the output is finite. This device emits megahertz signal that has base level that then doubles with the higher electrical output required. However, I do not know these megahertz ratings because I do not remember the detail during my classified briefings. I reviewed a black and white photograph. This device laying beside a slide rule. My handling agent informed me that this exact same photograph was shown to Ronald Reagan before he was president by the President Richard Nixon. The original device is kept in Los Angeles National Laboratories. A second device that was slightly smaller was brought back to Planet Serpo. Along with the technologies and information. 7 returning soldiers on August 18, 1978. We have created our own device since. I explain more in this other post. Alright, here we go. Down the rabbit hole we go. Yeah, shout out to Maths. Alright. That's something we could look at. No problem. Let's see. Let's see. Creation of Homo sapiens. And all this is an opinion. It's alleged. It's not necessarily even true. It's just some opinion. It's alleged. The true story of the creation of Homo sapiens on planet Earth, according to the classified files. I had this explained on X Spaces before, but I have been asked to put this on a post, so here it goes. Some within the ancient astronaut theory community got this correct, but none more than later words of Zechariah Stitchin. He got more wrong than his earlier works, the Earth Chronicles series that he did on his later works list in fiction. And the fact is, the precise is my most official position that he was leaked information from classified files in later career, but I do not know that for sure. Approximately 244,000 years ago, we were created out of what was already here. I think of Homo erectus type of prehuman. Our creators, the Nibiruians. I told you all about Nibiru being true. Sumerians call them Anunnaki. Arrived on this planet approximately 446,000 years ago, over 220,000 years of them, mining the gold mines in South Africa. Their miners went on strikes, so to speak, said it was too hard of work to continue on knowing how much longer they had left. There were two royal princes. They are where we get the idea of royalty from, that were here. First in command was level 50 Enlil. His brother was second in command, level 45 Enkai. Enlil stated that the area of North Africa stretching over the Sinai Peninsula known as the Edian. The Enkai had laboratories down by the gold miners in southeastern Africa, close to the coast where they landed originally, and this area was called Abzu. Stranded says, see, this is why I get so triggered, angry. We know the tech is there, and we give everyone unlimited free electricity, but the 1%ers won't allow it because they can't get cash money out of our pockets. Stranded, that is true. In my opinion, that is true. Yeah, it sucks. You know, the people should be able to collectively have this available. Exactly, Stranded. It's cringe. You know, that they want it just for themselves, but not for everybody else. You know, it's completely a disgrace. A disgrace. And very true, Stranded. Good point. Okay, Enkai proposed they make primitive worker called a Lulu. That could. This is when I was first learning about aliens. This is what we were talking about in the beginning, with third, fourth grade. He told me about this story. Okay, Enkai proposed that they make a primitive worker called a Lulu. Ah, Liberty. Great to see you, buddy. Great to see you, friend. Welcome. Enkai proposed they make a primitive worker called a Lulu that could work the mines for them and restart the gold production. They needed the gold to crush into a powder from known as viral suspended into their atmosphere, repairing their damaged ozone layer, highly reflective and protective. Gold was the only solution to their problem. Enlil was opposed to this. Enkai, along with his half-sister spouse, Ninma, and their son, Inky. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Liberty. Inky. Hello, Moki. Welcome back. Yeah, it's crazy about the energy. How they have this type of energy that they could be using to help each other and helping our people, but they choose to withhold it for themselves. It's so cringe. So, yeah, it's Moki. We're talking about the energy that they have, and it's really a triggering to chat. Because they just give us primitive technology. Right. So read this again. Say Inky. Inky proposed they make a primitive worker called a Lulu that could work the mines for them and restart the gold production. They needed the gold to crush into the powder known as vril and suspend into their atmosphere, repairing their damaged ozone layer. Highly reflective and protective gold was the only solution to their problem. Enlil was opposed to this. Inky, along with his half sister spouse, Ninma, and their son, Prince Nigshazada, moved forward with the plan anyway. Thank you, Moki. Yeah, thank you, Moki, for sending this to me. Oh, yeah, I'm all interested. That is true, Stranded. Oh, you heard this years ago on Arabelle show. Yeah, I know. This is yeah in ancient Egypt. Now, I do have the type of hair that that guy has from the alien guy. So, and basically, we'll do here is go. So take this off for a moment. And as I said, I have similar hair to the uh, Giorgio Tsoukalos' hair. My hair's kind of like bushy looking. So here we have the basically going to say what he said. So yes, Smokey, we'll go to the garden. So basically, in ancient Egypt, they were able to create electricity. Did it come from where did it come from? It came from extraterrestrials. And in my opinion, that means at some point in the past we were visited by some type of extraterrestrial. So basically, what Stranded is pointed out is that in ancient Egypt, they had these ancient lights. They had these lights. These looks like a light bulb in the hieroglyphics. So they had electricity at some point. And at some point, although I believe in the creation story of God that came here, made man in his image and likeness and stuff, and I believe in the Lord, all right? But this other theory that does not contradict that theory either is that there are things here, and these aliens came here to go infuse us with their DNA to make us into who we all are now. The Anunnaki, exactly. And also, we have, all right, so using Homo erectus that had evolved from an ape like beings, they spliced in their human genome and made us in their image. This is not successful, and so close to 10 tries, the offspring kept coming out deformed or irregular. It was until Homo erectus egg, impregnated with Nibiruian sperm, was then carried term by the Nibiruian princess Nimina. That's the very first successful Homo sapien that was created. They named him Adamu. Ninima then recruited 7 female Nibiruians to be the ones to carry the turn 7 Adamus at a time. 7 fertility goddesses, after 50 to 60 endemus were made, it was realized this was not feasible. The creation of the female companion was required for reproduction. So, was not feasible. Creation of the female companion was required for the procreation. Enlil protested. What his name is? Ink. His name is Inky. Inky again disobeyed, later receiving approval to continue by their father king Enyu. And the first female was created, and they called her Tiamat, named after the planet that was destroyed in between Mars and Jupiter, and Earth formed from 3.6 billion years ago. However, 6 CX did not equal procreation, then nigzash niggas. That's funny what I just said by mistake. Just this word right here, it sounds like that. So it's ning ishizida. Realized scared they needed the 23rd chromosome they call the life essence gene. That's when Inky was laid on the table and his chromosomes was taken from Morrow in his rib and placed into the genome of both Adam Yu and Tiamat. After creating their first child successfully, these two were moved to an area off limits to these new humans, a more tropical area at times. The Eden to be put on display, the creation it would be saved, Nibruian civilization. Yeah, I'm being the racist alien. Scared. Thank you, Alan. Thanks for the compliment. All right. Moving forward, the Inky art creator would visit them and teach them advanced language and knowledge. They started to create clothing from the surroundings to emulate him. Enlil was enraged by this, labeled him Inky, a serpent, and banished Adumu and Tiamat to the Abzu to work the mines like everyone else. Mayans would eventually call this the Serpent God. Thank you, Silver. Thank you. Baron Trump. Right, Alan. Right, Alan. And also, if you want to see what I look like, the thumbnail also looks like me. Because that's me when I was in my senior picture. Yeah. And I take that as a compliment, Silver. Thank you. Alright. Alright. So, basically what we're going to do is... Moki is talking about the garden. So, we're going to go to the garden now. So this stream will end. And I'm going to go live from my phone. And we'll see the garden. I'll say it again. I'm going to end this stream. And we're going to go to I'm going to do another live from the garden. Be warned, there's a lot of trolls that go on the phone lives. Alright. So basically we have this. And I like wearing the alien hat because it has my little alien captain hat on it. But sometimes I'll do it without the hat. Alright, so I'm going to put this in the chat so people don't get confused, because people always get confused when I do this. Alright, so we'll do this more another time, and shout out to the Spaceship Cats. Alright. Alright, 29. Alright, so everybody, thank you for coming to this. We're going to be going to the garden now. Alright? And peace. See, did that work? And my hair isn't brushed or anything. It's all over the place. Similar to Giorgio Tsoukalos' type of hair. So I thought it would be a good theme for this. Yeah. Alright, so, okay, peace. Does it work?